All right. We welcome. My name is Matt Landahl. I am the superintendent of the Beacon City School District. Joining me tonight is Anne Marie Corderoni, deputy superintendent, and our business official. We are going to go through the budget and just some different features of it, and just a huge thanks to our behind the scenes technical support, Mike Adamchak. Thanks for being here too. All right. Let's just jump into the slides. I'm going to do a few, and Marie's going to do a few. If people jump on and want to ask questions, there's a button at the bottom, and I'll keep my eye on that. But again, I have a great, I just want to start by saying I have a knack for weeks in advance choosing the nicest spring nights to have, to have these sessions. So it is quite a beautiful night out there. So anyway, here we go. Let's do the first slide. All right. So this is just, I'm not going to go through all of this, and we have this on our website, on the budget website. I've also shared this out in emails. This is just, all the various components, and I'm sure we're missing some things, but elementary, middle, and high school, things that we're proud about in terms of enrichment, instruction, staffing, student support, really memorable experiences for our students. Just things that we're super proud of. Some of them have been in place for over a decade or decades. Some have been more recent additions, but we're really proud of all of these different features that make up our school. Next slide. So just over the last 9 years, this is my ninth year here, my ninth budget. And so this is not that this is about me, but it's just things that we've done over the last 9 years through the budget that we've been really proud of and happy about. Years ago, in my first year here, we changed the elementary schedule to a 4-day rotation, which increased PE, art, and music for our elementary students. We added over a few years, added about 6 or 7 teachers to reduce elementary class size to an average that's between 18 and 19. We have either strengthened or established community partnerships with Common Ground Farm, Land to Learn, Compass Arts. We've increased mental health supports with 2 social workers at the high school, an additional guidance counselor at Roundabout, an additional psychologist at the elementary level. 4 years ago, we started the 9-period day at Beacon High School, which really enabled students to have easier access to electives and different courses, and it's been really successful. We've done a huge extracurricular expansion at the elementary and middle school level. We changed the PPS department a little bit, and we added a second assistant director. We've added a couple teachers on special assignment that focus on literacy, especially at the elementary level. We now have a math intervention teacher at each of our elementary schools, which we didn't have before. We've also increased special education staffing to assist, especially with our integrated co-teaching classes. So, and again, sometimes when I do these lists, I leave something out. But this is a pretty comprehensive list of different budget initiatives over the last 9 years that we've been able to keep. And that's going to be a thing that you hear from me a few times tonight, is when we add something, our goal is that it's not just a one-time thing, that we're able to embed it in the budget and keep it there. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to hand the next couple slides over to Anne Marie.
Okay. This slide shows what our tax cap calculation is.
Anne Marie, your mic you might be on mute or something.
I'm not on mute. You still can't hear me?
I'm not hearing you.
I may have to do it in your office.
Your mic is not working, but
I can hear Anne Marie.
Since you're in the building, you could come over to my office and we'll just turn the camera, unless we can figure out a way to get it working real quick.
Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can go through. I think everyone else probably can hear me too. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So the tax cap calculation.
Oh, sorry. I can hear now too. Sorry, that was my Oh, it wouldn't be a webinar without me goofing something up. Sorry about that, everyone.
That's okay. So our total tax levy for the cap is a little over $52 million. The tax levy increase is 4.47%, which is at the tax cap. And these are a couple of things that you take into consideration when you're calculating the tax cap. The tax-based growth factor, which is the amount of the that Beacon can increase the levy by, and it's a reflection of new properties that are within your new within your district. The allowable growth factor is increased by the average consumer price index, or 2%, whichever is less. So for right now, as you know, it's 2%. And what's called a capital exclusion. Our debt payments, less our building aid, we're allowed to increase our levy so that we have enough money to pay off our principal and interest payments. This has become a little bit more unique as we're going forward because we had passed the capital project for a little over $49 million, and it had a tax impact. So our levy is able to grow to pay for that project going forward. Next slide, please. This is a pie chart that just basically represents where our expenditures lie. So as you can see, salaries and benefits is about 75% of our budget. Since our school district is a people business, that kind of makes sense. Our debt service is 7.5%, and that reflects the new debt to pay off our capital projects. And miscellaneous is just material and supplies, textbooks, and all of the other things that we need to run our school district. Our total estimated budget for 26-27 is $91,850,000. Next slide, please. So as you can see on the top, it shows our current budget of 25-26 and our proposed of 26-27. So the total budget to budget increase is 4.71%. And then again, in the chart to the left, you see the tax cap calculation with all the numbers of actually how we arrived at the 4.47%. And then just to give people a little bit of perspective, the potential tax impact. So I always try to give you worst case scenarios. We're using assessments from last year. We usually calculate this in the summer before our tax bills go out. But with this budget, assuming the same assessments as last year, Beacon's taxes on an average home would increase about $213 a year. Fishkill is the same. Wappinger's a little more of $244 per year. We anticipate the assessments have increased over the last 10 years. Having new properties come on the tax rolls actually lowers this amount. So I wanted to just give people some perspective as it being the worst case scenario. We expect it to be less than that. Next slide, please. This is more of a visual of our revenue side. So our local property taxes, that's how much it would be at the cap, what our estimated state aid number would be. And as you know, the New York State budget has not been passed, but we've been working, with some agencies that assist school districts to kind of see what the best estimate is. That does have some building aid on some of the capital project 2021 that we're almost completing, and some of the work that we're working on for 2024. Interest earnings and other uses of fund balance and reserves, and then other miscellaneous revenue. So that equals the total of the budget of $91,850. Next slide, please. Just to give you a little bit of a perspective, we calculated what a median home value, what an estimated school tax would be for Beacon, which is on your left. It's a little over $5,000. And we found it really important to compare it to other school districts in our region, in our immediate area. So if they had a $450,000 home, what the school tax estimates would be. So just to give you a little bit of perspective of what we have, all the great things we have in Beacon, and all the great things that the other school districts have, but how much more in taxes that they pay over what we pay.
And just quickly about that, and first, I also want to apologize, Anne Marie, for saying I couldn't hear you.
That's okay.
I didn't have my volume on, which is super embarrassing. I'm glad this will be memorialized on YouTube forever. I'm always happy about that part. So just really quickly, these are our 4 Dutchess districts. That's one of the reasons why we list them. Spack and Kill is a little bit smaller than us. Hyde Park is just a little bit bigger than us. And obviously Arlington and Wappingers are the 2 large districts in Dutchess County, but these are often districts that we try to compare ourselves to, both programmatically, also what we offer our employees in terms of contracts, employee or salaries, benefits, etc. So anyway, thank you, Anne Marie, for pulling that information together. I think that's really helpful to see.
Next slide, please.
So just quickly on the ballot, voters will be voting on the budget, on the bus proposition, which we'll talk about in a second, and then 3 open seats for the board. We don't have the candidates yet. The signatures or petitions, are due on April 29th, I think. Next week. So once those get turned in, we will know who is running for the board. Next slide. Anne-Marie, I'll have you talk about the bus proposition a little bit.
Okay. So we did not have a bus proposition last year. We were very happy to receive our 2 electric buses on delivery this fall. So we are just utilizing and replacing things that are of great necessity. And I'm going to talk really about the wheelchair vans. So we've had a need within our district, just with an increased amount of students that need wheelchairs. One of our vans did fail, and we are trying to get through the rest of the year with that. And one is older and really needs to replace. So those 2 wheelchair vans are really important to get children where they need to be. We're asking for 172 passenger bus and 2 small school vans. So the total bus proposition would be $640,000, which we finance over 5 years with a bond anticipation note. And the reason we do that is that we receive transportation aid for the buses over 5 years. So we kind of match the revenue and expenses together. And then some other transportation items that we included in this year's budget is a wheel alignment machine, so that we can do the wheel alignments for the buses in-house instead of sending them out to the dealerships, which would save us money in the long run. And we want to upgrade our routing software to enhance communication. We had talked a little bit about this last year, but our current routing software does have a component that we can communicate better with parents about where their children are and what time their children's buses will get home. So we're really excited about that. And we're going to start working on that very early in the summer to get it up and running by September. Next slide, please.
Oh, UPK. So Emery, I'll let you jump in, but something we're excited about in the governor's budget, to emphasize, it's important to know that we do not have a state budget yet. There's been multiple weeks of budget extenders, and what we're hearing is we do feel pretty confident about the funds for Beacon and the funds for education in general. I think the budget is being held up on some other political fronts, and I won't be getting into that tonight. But Beacon has always taken pride in the last few years. We've been offering full day pre-K at really large numbers in our buildings, and funding it, not all with our own funds, but probably funding about half of it with our budget money and the other half through state money. And starting next year, the state will be close to fully funding the program. And so we're really excited about that. Anne-Marie, is there anything you would add to the UPK part?
No, we're just awaiting the state budget, and we're very excited about it. So we're hoping that goes through.
Great. All right, next slide. And then something, at the beginning of the presentation, we kind of talked about all the things we've added over the years. Kind of the new thing for this budget, which would require the equivalent of about 3 full-time teachers, would be changing Roundabout Middle School from an 8-period day to a 9-period day. Just briefly, because we're going to get into this more with middle school parents, elementary parents a little bit later this year. But it's going to help us in a variety of ways. At 6th grade level, we're going to add a health class for all 6th graders, and then another class that's like a welcome to 6th grade class that will focus on the Positivity Project, study skills, and just getting kids acclimated to the change at Roundabout. We're excited about that. In the 7th grade, they're going to be students are going to be able to take 10-week electives in a wide variety of subjects that I think, at least looking at the classes being developed right now, will be really high interest for 7th graders. And then we're going to be adding a technology class that we hope to be really a lot more hands-on and less digital in the 8th grade. And then not a full art program, but some art classes for students. Some students will be able to take another year of art in 8th grade. Throughout this, students who receive academic intervention services will have more access to those. Some students will be able to possibly take both band and chorus. A lot of it depends in 8th grade with what classes you sign up for. If you sign up for algebra and the high school biology class, which has a lab, like it does cut down on your options a little bit. But we're really excited to be offering kids more options at the middle school. I know the teachers are excited about this. And so this is our big budget initiative for the year. And I know we don't have a ton of people watching, but for the folks who are, there is a Q&A button at the bottom. If you want to ask a question, you just type it in there. It's totally anonymous, and we'll do our best to answer it. But again, we'll be sharing more details with the 9-period day as we go. Teachers have been working on it really for the last couple of months with administrators as well. But we're super excited at the chance to do it. Next slide, please. Some smaller scale initiatives in the upcoming year. So there's something at many high schools in New York, but Beacon has done an awesome job with this. It's called the Seal of Civic Readiness. I think last year we had 77 students earn the seal, which means they do a special project. At Social Studies, it's a graduation seal that proves that they did extra work, and not just assignments, but really engaging work where they're working with the community. And so we had several student groups make proposals to the board. And so in next year's budget, we're awarding funds to get more of a garden at the Beacon High School. I know there's one that's already in existence, but to add to a student-run garden, and then add an outdoor classroom at Beacon High School as well. We work super hard at communication here in the district, and are the last thing, not the last thing, but the next thing that we're going to be adding is an app, like a family engagement app. So we'll have a news feed on the app, and that'll be just like another way for families to get updated on what's going on in the district. One of our student advisors to the board made a proposal to start a mentoring program for rising 9th graders. Not all 9th graders, but the mentors would be current high school students. So we're going to create a stipend for a teacher to advise that and kind of oversee it. And then lastly, we're super excited about this. Several years ago, for years, Beacon High School students, along with all the other Dutchess County High School students, could take DCC, Dutchess Community College level classes for credit, for college credit at our high school and at other high schools, and we could do it for free. That changed, I want to say, 4 years ago. And DCC started charging all the students, not just Beacon, all the students in Dutchess County for those credits. And so a couple districts piloted this year. We're going to be joining in the program. where we're going to be taking over the paying for the DCC classes for students who want to take them. But doing it through BOCES allows us to gain some revenue from it, and it actually will allow us to help pay for some of the teachers who teach those classes some of their salaries. It also gives us a little bit of time, not a lot, but a little bit of time with a college counselor that will be available to, I think, seniors is the plan. And so we're super excited that that's in the budget. We don't have a perfect estimate for how much that will cost because we're not sure exactly how many students will be taking DCC classes. Our sense for the tuition, it will be probably around 20,000, 20 to 30,000. And the other things are all pretty low budget items. We're highlighting them because I think they'll be visible and high impact despite their low cost. Next slide, please. And future considerations, these are things that we will be thinking about in future budgets, and you'll be hearing more about as we move forward. We'd love to add a college and career counselor at Beacon High School. We'd love to add more academic intervention specialists across all levels. We'd love to add instructional coaching, possibly behavior specialists, more mental health supports. We're always trying to evaluate student need and craft a budget around that. In terms of advocacy, I think it's always, and our board does a great job with this, to be advocating for increasing foundation aid for all districts in New York. Okay, I think that might be the last slide. Let's check. Sorry, timeline. We're doing these sessions. I think we have one more that will be Zoom, and that will be like a week before the budget vote. I think that's on May 12th. It's not on there. We're going to be doing a few more in-person sessions at Beacon High School. So if folks want to see us in person, that's on the flyer that we keep posting on social media and I keep sending out. But Tuesday is when our board votes on the BOCES budget. You can tune into that budget meeting to learn more about what the BOCES budget supports and how our students access services at BOCES, at least some of our students. And then the really important date, and we'll be reminding folks, is Tuesday, May 19th, is the budget vote, which not only will folks be voting on the budget, but like we mentioned earlier, they'll be voting on the proposition for school buses, and they'll be voting on school board members too. And like I said, we'll know who those folks are a week from now. Next slide, please. Oh, and this is just, to be really quick on this, voters approved a capital project a while back, and the work that's happening right now has been at putting a new HVAC system in Beacon High School. The one that we've had has been problematic for years, and so we're really excited to be getting that in place. And then this summer, we're going to be doing secure entryways for 5 of our buildings. Glenham's was done last summer. And we're going to be starting the air conditioning project at our elementary schools. We're going to be starting at South Avenue and Sargent. The air conditioning work does not get completed in 2 months over the summer. It starts in the summer and then sort of takes place over the rest of that school year with night work. And we'll be making improvements to the high school theater. We'll be making improvements to the tennis courts at the high school, and we will be making improvements to the softball and baseball field. Right now, the plan for that is, and this was voter approved already, but the plan for that is turf infields and doing some work on drainage in the outfields with natural grass, so it's less boggy and swampy. Although it's been so dry lately, we've kind of forgotten what that's like, but so a rainy spring, we sometimes struggle to have home games. So we're excited about that work. And on this slide, it kind of shows over the next few summers what we'll be working on too. I think that is the last slide. And I don't see anything in the Q&A box, but thank you so much for listening. Apologies for my super pathetic technology malfunction earlier where I had my sound off. And Anne Marie, thanks for being here. Mike, thank you for your support. Thanks for listening. And I always say, like, if you have a question about the budget, please just email us and we'll answer you individually. And we'll most likely put your question anonymously, of course, but we'll put your question on our FAQs on our budget website as well. Anne Marie, do you have any final last words on the budget?
No, you did a great job with it. Thank you. No, I'm good. We're going to be talking a lot about it, so you'll hear us again.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. Have a good night, and let's enjoy the rest of this beautiful spring evening. Take care.